year end, how many of you are taking some breaks? Are you going on to go up there? And you have already achieved your targets and say that, okay, I can relax a bit in this year end. Or how many of you are fighting tooth and nail towards achieving your year end? Any of you can help your teammates to get it there. And how are you going to start 2024 with a big bang? How are you going to win big in 2024? And that's what we're going to go through that. For myself, how did I begin? Right, so I think I will start from the faith journey, right? Faith is a journey that we built from Malaysia and went regional. And a lot of things that we built on across today get to build through. Like recently, G20 meeting, the meetings of the world's largest 20 countries in India. The payment platform that they use is Faith, built in Malaysia, right? So it's pretty interesting that a name that built on here get to go through when Google decided to enter Singapore for Google Pay. They use our technology and merchants. When Alipay decided to serve their China tourists in Singapore and Malaysia, they use our technology, right? So do the banks, DBS Bank, UOB Bank, Maybank. They use quite a bit of our solutions, or even Touch and Go here in the local fronts. So I think a lot of it, how do we build through? And what are the journeys? And there's a lot of share a bit on acquisition. I'll cover a bit later, right? And I think those are the journeys that we go through, that ups and downs. I will be lying to you if I tell you that everything is perfect. But every time, whenever there's challenges, whenever there's resistance, whenever there's a tough time, that's when we learn. That's when we go through what are the key ones. So my high school was in Bukit Mentajam. Any of you fellow Penang Knights, maybe we should type in as well, right? You're fellow Penang Knights, whether originally from Penang or now you're still living in Penang, right? I'm building through. Like coming from a schools where we learn through, it is a school where there is lots of discipline, right? The teachers are pretty strict. My high school was taught in Hokkien. So my teachers, actually my sejarah, my English, my Mandarin class was actually in Hokkien, right? And the teachers went through that. And I still remember I left my high school, didn't speak much English. I knew that whenever we speak English, people would say, hey, this person tried to show off. So we didn't actually get through, right? And I learned most of my English later on. But it was here that it was a formative year. We built through, we learned, we failed, and until today, I still get the chance to go back to school to see the younger students and see how we can build on the younger future generations of this country, right? And then, luck has it, after my high school, I was lucky to get a JPA scholarship. That was my first time went on aeroplane. I think many of you, maybe likelihood, may have a chance to go on plane early, or maybe some of you only got a chance to went on plane slightly later. Or maybe some of you will be going on a flight soon. And I went on my first flight at the age of 20, went to the States, never knew anything, and went to Cornell University, one of the Ivy League universities that I never thought that I could go there. It was tough. When I got there, during the orientation week, had to take an English test. Out of 3,000 new students from 130 over countries, 8 students were chosen as the worst English. And I was one of the 8. A fellow Malaysians, right, was there, together with folks from Japan, Korea, China, Indonesia, Thailand. And it was an interesting experience, right? We were placed on a special class, learn from the teachers, and as a new students going to university, thought that, hey, now we've got to university, we can start the year well. And there I was, placed on a special remedial class to build on. But that built on, that experience, that journey, and went on. And it was here that I got a chance to meet people that never knew one day they'll be famous. There's one guy that was giving a talk. There's only 10 people turn up. And I went in not because I heard of him. I saw free food. I went in there and listened to that guy and talk about my dream. One day I'm going to send a rocket to the space, right? And no one believed me, but as they believed him at that time, he was saying, going to space. And that person was Elon Musk. 20 over years ago, I was in the same room listening to him when he was a nobody. And after that, I was chatting with him. And he was like, oh, wow, one day I'm going to go there. I wish I believed in him. I wish I told him that I'm going to tag along. I wish I could do that. I did. But those are the opportunities that you meet along the way. Anyone around you that could be that. And that person that I had a near miss, I was never kept in touch. Elon Musk, right? And so a lot of times history will tell where someone will go through. And that someone can be you, any of you. Any of us can be that. And that's how we build through. From planners, like some of you, maybe today look at your leaders. Some leaders have built it very successful, driving huge cars, living luxuriously, making impact in many, many people's life. You say that maybe one day going to be me. And that person can be you. And the difference between those that have made it and those that have not, maybe yes, a bit of luck, but a lot of hard work, a lot of resilience, a lot of never give up. A lot of time when others say let's relax, they went extra mile. They took the extra efforts, like the 1,623 of you who woke up at 8:30 in the morning or maybe earlier to be here this morning on a year end to learn a bit more, and hope that we'll pick up one or two things today that go on. And a lot of time, what you do something is what you do every day. And applaud you, all of you, to continue to build on that. And later on, I started my journey as in the employment world as well. Maybe any of you that have gone through that, maybe feel free to type in the chat as well, that any of you have started your career not in AIA, but you went on to work at somewhere, and after a while you felt that maybe that's not for me. I started Accenture, management consulting, and that was at JobStreet, right? Helping people to get a better job. And I was there for some time before I went on the entrepreneurship journey. And I think there's some learnings, but I think that a lot of time is that you feel that itching, is that let me go and build something. So maybe some of you have gone through the experience, right? Where you were previously working hard, trying to get a promotion, increment, and think that, okay, I'm going to get that. And when you got it, it's like, hey, yes, I got my promotion, but what's next? The same. And maybe some of you have thought through for years. They say, one day, I'm going to join AIA. I'm going to come to the insurance industry. And maybe some of you procrastinate for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years before you say, let me make the leap. Some of you say, let me leap straight away. And those of you that made the leap, and today you are here, you build through, you go through that, and a lot of times, all these challenges, how the pressure builds diamonds. Many of you are the diamonds here. Many of you have failed before, but how do you fail? You fall backward or failing forward? Fail forward, learn something, step up and go the next one. So how can all of you, all of us, take that step ahead? How can 2024 be a better version of us than the 2023? How can today be a better version of us yesterday? What can I do a bit better? What can I prepare a bit more when I go to pitch, to bring a client, or bring someone to join your team? And as we go through, a lot of time we have comfort zone, things that we know best. We know how to sell this. We know how to encourage people to do this. We know we are excelling in this, our comfort zone. And a lot of times, it is very comfortable there. It's a lot of times we can close our eyes and we go there. We knew how to do this. But often, magic happens when you step out of that comfort zone and say, let me go on and try something that maybe I haven't tried. Challenge something that maybe is beyond me. What will you try? What are the magics that you're going to build through? What are the things that you're going to create? And that's something that you want to get on. So think of it. In this upcoming 2024, what's the new magic? What's your target? Does the target sound daunting? Maybe yes. But think back in 2023, 2022, 2021, or earlier. The target may sound daunting at the start of the year as well. But many of you have achieved your targets. So maybe think of it. What have you achieved? How do you achieve that? And a lot of times, it's stepping beyond the comfort zone. If one day you reach out to 10 leads, how do you reach out to 15 leads? If one day you do 3 meetings, how do you do 4 meetings? How do you convince people? What are skills that you do differently? What are things that you think that no longer work? What are things that are going to work and you try and it works? And one day you go out there and share with your friends. So how do you step out of your comfort zone? How do you go on beyond that? And that will be where you want to think about as you build on the new year. Many of us dream to be entrepreneurs. Many people tell you that you can live a carefree life, relaxing life. I want to quote Mark Cheng from JobStreet. Back in 1995, he started MOL.com. He sold the MOL.com domain to Tan Sri Vincent Tan for 12 million ringgit in 1997, and he took that to build JobStreet. And 2014, he sold that for 1.9 billion ringgit, not million, billion. And many people told him that you are overnight success, but it was not. It was a 19 years of hard labor. And he recalled back in 1995-97, when he wanted to start his own company, he said that I want to have a free time to drink coffee with people anytime, whenever I want. And he got it after 19 years. And people said overnight success. But a lot of it, that's the greed that you go through. Many of you succeed. Many are leaders that you look upon them. Many of the top planners that you look at them, that they succeed. Look outside, from outside, they look super chill, free, relaxed, and they got it there. But is it so? What have they done? What are the ingredients that you can pick up from them? What are the ingredients that you have that you can share across? And many of the leader is a leadership ability. Why do you follow certain leader? Why does another leader that you look at that you say, I aspire to be? I want to learn from that. So I think that how do you become a leader? What kind of character that you want to build through? So that is key. So as you build on that, what are the leadership abilities? Do you care for your planners? Do you care for your team members? Do you care for people around you? Do you listen to others? Do you share what you have? Do you guide people? Do you be there to make a tough decision? Do you be there to allow the team members to experiment? Do you be there to encourage when no one else believes in you? Do you go there to really, really challenge and say you can do better? You can do beyond what you can do. And that's what the steps that go on. Independent, entrepreneurship, a lot of time looks like it's glorified, but a lot of time it's very lonely journey. Many of you, as you try on this insurance journey, you might have some of your good friends try to stay away from you. Maybe your good friends reject you. And maybe some of your good friends, after some time, embrace you. But a lot of independence, a lot of hard work. What are the angles that you can go in to convince someone? Why would someone spend more time with you? Why would someone increase their coverage? Why would someone add on something that you bring onto them? And a lot of times, you might feel that, hey, why does this person not listening to me? Then that's when innovation come in. Innovating. What are ways to attract people's attention? What a determination. So sometimes you might keep on sharing updates to your prospects, and they might or might not be replying to you. But a lot of times they might be reading it, they might be looking at it, and one day you stay top of the mind in their mind, and when they need, they come back to you. So how do you be there? How do you use innovation? How do you use different ways today with the technology? What are the ways that you can use to reach out to your prospects? What are ways to keep up with your customers? How do you upsell, cross-sell, and retention? So all these things come into play. And as you build on that, how do you enhance your charisma? How do you enhance your communication? How do you be independent and innovative? My journey as I gone on from employment into entrepreneurship, from outside it looks easy, but there is a lot of tough time. So when I agreed to join Groupon in 2011, got a chance to went on to turn around Groupon Taiwan. It was an interesting journey. Went on there, didn't know anything, got a team of 250 people, and the business was losing $1 million a month. And we turned around and got it to $8,000 profit in 8 months. It was an interesting journey. Got on to, from there, take care of Southeast Asia, India, eventually Japan, Korea, and Asia Pacific. And as a young folks, went on to manage 3,000 people across Asia Pacific, 12 countries. It was a learning journey. Different people, different country, different motivations. Why would someone do something? How does someone think of it and do it differently at different countries? What are the things, that lessons that you go through? How do you go through the ups and downs? And 2015 decided that let's take a plunge and go on a full entrepreneurship journey. It was scary, right? Like many of you who back then forego your monthly salary in a comfortable zone, in your comfort zone that we talked about just now. That you got a full monthly salary, month end, you always get your pay, but you are never satisfied. And you take the plunge to go on this journey where rewards will be there, waiting for those who succeed, who put in a lot of hard work. But also there's challenges initially. Maybe you may not get the first breakthrough yet. How do you go through that? So when I did my KFIT journey back in 2015, started a startup, it was tough. Like go out there, fundraise, convince people that say to join this journey. Just like you convince a recruit. How do you brought in different people? How do you brought in? We got in about 120 people over 8 months across 8 countries to come in on this journey and say, believe in us. I don't have many things to promise you, but I believe in it, and let's build on. So that will be one of the things that to go through. How do we go through that challenge? As you build through that from outside, it looks like it's glory. But how do we be able to permeate that journey to everyone? How do you convince everyone to say, let's go, come on together in this journey? We can together make it. And as we build on faith, if you look on the left picture, Joe Neal, some of you may have seen him around, right? So he was built through the journey back then in SAYS, Groupons, and then now Faith with me. And we built through the journey over the years. I worked with him closely for 12 years. And we built together the journey. And it was a lot of up and down, expanding to countries. Some countries succeed, some didn't. Some partnerings work, some didn't. How do you build the app that is utilized across? How do you build the business that different platforms, the banks, the big telcos, the big giants around the world and say, I'm going to adopt it? It takes a lot of resilience, a lot of rejections, a lot of build through to go through that. And I think as you go on this journey as well, right, whether you're planners or leaders, the journey could be lonely. Sometimes building through with someone that who think alike, have lots of trust, and have complementary skill sets built through. So Joel brings with me different skill sets, different aspects that he can sell something across to different people. I have lots to learn from him. But I come with him analytical, the data and all the aspects, and we combine together and build through. So what are the things that you build through? For those of you that build on your agencies, later on, pull in a bunch of planners together, how do you build through? What are things that you can add on? What are things that you can value add? And a lot of times when you're building a journey, is that how do you make it easier, cheaper, better, faster? Easier, cheaper, better, faster. If you use the app today, how is it easier? How is it cheaper? How is it faster? The same thing when you want to onboard a client. They want it faster. They want it cheaper. They want it easier, better. How do you create that? So a lot of times as you think of that, easier, cheaper, better, faster is what you do it. And a lot of times people don't care about you until they know that you care about them. So think of the leaders. For those of you who are leaders, which of your planners, how do you get them to trust in you? Because you deeply care in them. And the same thing for the planners. How do you care? See that which leaders care about you. Do you care about your fellow planners, your colleagues, your others that you work with? How do you care about your clients? How much do you genuinely care about them? And if you do that, a lot of times not through the words, it's through your body language, through your commitment over the years that they see that. And through that, that often builds through. And journey as an entrepreneur, or some people say glorified salesman, it is difficult. Like look at the team there, convincing each and every one of them, right? Saying that they are going to dedicate their lives to come on it. The same thing with you, your fellow planners, dedicate, come and join your team, your agency, and go on this journey. Like how do you convince people to come on it? How do you convince your client to come and say, let's come in and take on the policy with me? So that journey, and a lot of time people say, oh, entrepreneurs can sit back there behind, but it's not. It is out there that every bit, every day is a sales. How do you sell something? How do you sell that idea? Right? Today, this session, if none of you buy any of the idea and doesn't believe in anything I say, then I fail in this journey. The same thing, every day you make a client. How do you sell the idea? Sell something that they believe and say, this works. So that's something key. So build on it. As you build on the journey, there'll be ups and downs. And a lot of times you'll find opportunities come along at different angle that you may not never have thought about. For example, there was once we were pitching at the gym to sign on. And there was this one old man, 70 plus years old man, sitting behind there, waiting for his friend, who is a gym owner, to finish talking. And then we were pitching to this gym owner to sign on the gym. And at the end of it, he said, let me introduce my friend. So that friend out there was the founder of Fitness First globally. He just sold for £1 billion. not million, £1 billion. And that night, this person literally dropped us a note and say, hey, can I give you some money to invest in a business? So never knew who is someone. That person could have been an old person sitting there waiting, but that person could be a billionaire waiting there. The same thing, as you go out there and prospecting, go out there and meeting people around there may be observing you. Maybe they're family members, maybe they're friends, they're colleagues. And a lot of time during this journey, what do you portray? How do you go through? How do you accept rejection? How do you accept failures? How do you sell an idea that you believe strongly in, that convince others? If you haven't believed in it, how do you equip yourself with the knowledge, with the understanding that you can really equip that and go out there and sell that? It is a journey. It is a never stop journey. It is a tough journey. All of you, if you want an easy journey, get a job. That's easy. Every month, there'll be a paycheck. But there will be not what you want. You want the freedom. You want the independence. You want the journey. You want the growth. You want all these things with AIA. That's a choice. There's sacrifice that you built through. And a lot of times, what you built on in the earlier years, months, stays on and continue to build on for years to come. What are the things that you built through? So are you going to sacrifice today for your future? Are you going to work hard today for the future betterment, for you, your family, and your life? So that's the journey that you're going to go on there. The journey as an entrepreneur, resilient. I talk about it. There's lots and lots of rejections. There's lots and lots of that. And as we get a rejection, what do we learn from those journeys? Fundraising. A lot of time people say, hey, it's easy. You read the news, this company raised $10 million. This person won this award. This person got this thing. But what's behind that? There's maybe a lot of business plan. There's a lot of practicing, rehearsing. There's a lot of financials built through. There's a lot of selling the mission, understanding the competition, understanding the mindset, understanding marketing. And as you build on that, do you give up? And maybe I will offer something. Instead of giving up, think of it is, when people haven't succeeded, the word is haven't succeeded, not failed. A lot of times, as we go through that, from a journey built through, and if you look at the right-hand side, a Penang boy's journey from Nibong Tebal. So starting from a small town, how do we build up? And many of you, mungkin dari kampung kecil, Wuchong, Xinchun, Tenten, as you build on that, how do you build through? Where you're from, in each area, how can you today propel beyond? How you can bring your family to a better year, better 2024 and beyond? So that's something to think through. And just now we talk about sales pitch. In the end, it's quantity and quality. How many sales pitches that you go through? What are pitches that you go through? What works, what doesn't work? Do you observe the facial reaction of the other person? Body language. How do you adapt? Do you speak the similar language, the similar speed as them? Do you use the lingo of the person? Do you know what they care about as you pitch to them? Do they look at short term, long term? Do they need more immediate support? Do they need more from life aspects? Do they need more on critical illness, from health? What else they need? What are areas that you need to build through? So don't think of it from your commission angle, but think from the client's angle. How do you sell it to them? And sell it that there's no reason for them to say no, that they want to build on. And as you go on this journey, like for us to build through, we got about more than 8 million downloads. 8 million times that someone said, let me press a button to download. And many of us, all of us have mobile apps. Today, mobile phones, right? And today, smartphones, not often again, we download apps. So it's getting harder and harder to get people to download apps. But how do you build that through? And it's a journey. What do you convince people? And in the point there's lessons from 61 rejections. In 2018, the news said Faith raised $20 million US. That's what the news said. But the news didn't say it took 15 months. It didn't say we were rejected by 61 investors for the 62nd one to give us a $20 million US. It was a journey. There was a lot of tough times. There were some that you met 5 times. And after that, they said the no. Or some never told you a no. They just quietly replied you less. Right? So a lot of that as we go through, I can foresee many of you going to go through that as you pitch your clients. People may not directly tell you that, no, I will never buy from you. But maybe they were like, and maybe they want to buy, they want to get the policy from you, but maybe at that time they don't have financial yet. So how do you know those? How do you be able to continue to encourage them and build on and permeate across, or maybe convince your family members or friends to join you as a recruit? Maybe at that time, there's certain worry that they didn't dare to plunge. Do you ask the second time? Do you ask the third time? Do you ask multiple times without getting them feeling that, hey, you're overselling? How do you do that? There's an art as to do that. How do you build through that? How do you build through a successful persuader that day one, they walk back to you and say, hey, remember 6 months ago, you told me about this. I want to be, right? And how's your feeling when someone did that to you? That they remembered what you told them earlier and they came back proactively to you. And that means you have successfully persuaded them. It plants into their mind. You are top of the mind. How do you be the top of the mind of all your clients, prospects, potential recruits, right? How do you be the top of the minds in their mind? When they think of health, when they think of success, when they think of something, they think of you. How can you build that? And that's key. As you build through that journey will enable them to follow you through the journey. And is it easy? No, but it is rewarding. What are the ways they go through? And think of it, when we talk about persuading, many people have persuaded us many things before along our life, right? Sometimes we go to the malls, sometimes we go online browsing through social media, and there's so many ads and everything. Which of those are speaking to us? Which of those we feel irritated? Reflect that, pick up that, and as we do that on our own, when we reach out to others, avoid the same mistakes, because that's when we can go through. I have a bit more to go through my slides, but maybe for those of you that have questions, start typing into the chat there, right? What questions you have? What are things that you want to ask about? What are things that you want to talk about? What are things that you feel that you are passionate about? Feel free to put that through, and I'll cover that shortly. And one thing, like this thing, I think you all know best. Health is wealth. You cannot enjoy wealth if you're not in good health. And health is something that once broken, we can't easily get it back. Yes, technology has advanced. Yes, many things can be put in place, but it is always not as the same as the one that you built through. All of us want to take care of our health. We all say it, but do we do it all the time? Right? Do we eat well? Think of our meals over the last 1 month. I didn't say last few days. I know it's a Christmas weekend. Many of us may go out there and eat a great meal. May not be the healthiest, but it's a great meal. Don't worry about it a couple of days. But how about last 1 month, last 1 year? Do we eat well? Do we eat healthily? Do we eat consciously? So that's maybe 1. 2, sleep. Do we take proper rest? Do we get on enough REM and deep sleep? Enable our body to build immunity and also rest well, to rejuvenate. Do we have a proper sleep without disruption? And maybe some of us couldn't because we have a young babies at home that we need to wake up. Yes, there will be a balance, there will be sacrifice as we build through that journey. But how do we try our best to have a good rest? Do we exercise? Do we go and walk? Do we open up AIA Vitality? As we encourage our clients to do that, do we live by example? Do we go through that, right? Every day, open up the app, and do we do the walking? Do we walk into the malls and the groceries? Do we buy the vegetables and fruits, the healthy ones? Do we go through any of those and build on the nutrition as we go through? All this will be seen in the journey. I quote Dr. Peter Attia, one of the longevity experts, right, who had a book of Outlive. He talked about, think of the last 10 years of our life. We don't know when that will be. Maybe when we are 90s years old. Maybe we are 80 years old. When we're 120 years old, we don't know when. But think of the things that you want to do in your final 10 years of our life. We want to be able to walk a dog. We want to be able to carry our grandkids up and play with the grandkids. Maybe we want to be able to still walk for 3 kilometers. Or maybe we even want to be able to hike a mountain or cycling. What do we want? Think of that. And how do we work backwards and say that if we want to be able to do that at that stage of life, what do we need to do? How do you build our cardio? How do you build our muscle? How do you build our body to be resilient to go through that? And I know in AIA, in this insurance business, prevention, we want our clients to prevent. We want our clients to be able to be healthy so that even though there's coverage, they are healthy and they don't need to claim, right? As we build on that, how do we be able to live through that? And I saw a question on how to have a positive mindset of challenges. I think of challenges as the opportunities. Every challenges means something is not perfect, means that someone has unmet needs, that there is opportunity for us to fulfill that, right? So I think of it in our life as well. Tough targets, challenging targets. That's where we spur ahead. We often heard that people go through the tough time, and that's when they succeed. Many of you maybe have heard of this guy called Michael Phelps, World Olympic winners swimmers, right? I met him earlier and a few years back, and he was sharing that the difference between him and many other swimmers was he trained 365 days a year. He never took a day of break, never. And the reason was because every time he took a break, even a weekend, he has to warm up to build up to get back to peak. So the difference is he did 365 days of training every day. And he did share his vulnerabilities as well. After one of the Olympics, when he lost, he got a silver medal. He was depressed. He was very, very dejected. And it took him a couple of years to really bounce back. He still remember folks that have helped him during his tough times, that have got him back up. But it was the journey, training nonstop. He said that he will usually put an earplug into him when he walked into the swimming arena and ignore everything and just focus on his training. If others do this much, let's say do 50 laps, he might do 80 laps, 100 laps, 200 laps. It's just continuously. I'm quite sure you heard of these NBA players that constantly do the shots. Not that they are great at doing the shots, but just that practice makes perfect. So the same thing. Have you practiced your pitches? Have you gone out there to build through? And all those things built through, right? And health, the same thing. Do we take care of it every day? Do we go through and ensure that we live a life that's well lived? And journey in breaking through extreme stress. Yes, there is stress. And I'll be lying to you, there's no stress. We were acquired by Pine Labs for 45 million US dollar, or at that time translation, 105 million ringgit. In today's ringgit, it's actually more than 200 million ringgit. It sounds decent, but it was a lot of years of hard work, a lot of years of building, a lot of years where investors believe in us, when people, no one believe in us. People trust in us. People, the early employees that would join us. The joy of seeing 150 of our employees got a payout as part of this deal when we sold the company. People that got a fortune. One of our employees went on, bought a sampan, the fisherman sampan, and turned it into a hotel in Tioman Island called Sea Rascals. That and today enable the person to brought in people to go there on holidays, to stay at any part of Tioman Island. So those are one example. I know of an employee that who went on and took that and built their own business, went on and joined different journey. And I think a lot of it, as you go through that, there is stress. But how do we handle? We can't control what other people do to us, but we can control the controllable. We can control how we react to something. Think of a president of a country. Think of a CEOs. There is stress, no doubt. But a lot of time you look at it, different people react to stress very differently. Some people may look calm. Some people may be stressed inside, but how do they handle it? How do they portray it? And I'm not saying that just keep everything inside. May not be great as well. But how do you handle it? How do you parcel it? How do you break down a complex thing into smaller pieces? How do you look at different aspects and say, maybe I will pause here and then try a different way? When you get a rejection, when you go to meet the client was super upset and say, no, don't pitch me anymore. Does that mean no forever? Maybe not. Maybe no for that moment. How do you think differently? How do you wow the person differently? Maybe there's a huge target that was placed on you and you feel like it's impossible. But the word impossible, if you take the first two characters, I and M, and put apostrophe after the I, is I'm impossible. You are possible. You can do it. A lot of time, the barrier of whether we can do it or not is how well we can do it. And that's what we built through, right? We believe that we can do it. Question from Nur Farhana. How do you cope with a very stressful moment? How long does it take to get back up again? And during very stressful moment, take a breather. Sometimes you still need to face on. But sometimes when you can, take a breather and be out of the view of across and take the breathing and rest through and take it, don't react immediately. But you might need to make a response at a time, but control, calculated response. And how long does it take to get back up? It's different, unfortunately. Every scenario slightly different, but build it on, right? Because as you take the time needed, but key is get back up. Nothing is lost permanently. Everything can be built up. And gradually, as you build through. Of course, this time when I talk about health, it may be harder to get back up, but it's not impossible. So, but you want to maintain it. And as you go through stress, think in the bigger picture. What is the life out there? Think out there. Today, do I still have a shade under there? Do I still have food? We are better than most people out there. How do you be able to then see the bigger picture? And a lot of time when you feel people upset at us, or people we are in these situations where we feel that it's very unfair. Zoom out, think from the other angle, and say that no matter how unfair it is, why did the person do that? Why did the person do that? Maybe the person has a certain reason. The person may not have seen this part of the reason, but the person has a certain reason which you may or may not agree, but they do it certain way. So think of that and say that yes, the person may have done it, or maybe sometimes you go internationally, intercultural is very different. When you go to deal with people from Thailand, how they never said no. They go through that, right? So a lot of time they will be yes, 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 but they may or may not be doing. Or Japanese, like when you go to work at Japan, everything is yes, but they may not agree. So how do you go through? So a lot of it, as you go through that, different folks go through. When I work with India, with my parent company, Pine Labs, a lot of them, they are very direct. For some, it's stressful, but for some, it's great. They may debate in the meeting room for 10 minutes. After that, they go out there, have a beer, or enjoy themselves together, closely together, and it's fine. So I think it's how do we go through that? And Samsul Nafizan, thanks a lot for your message. Really appreciate. I think that hope you learned something and got inspired a bit for anything, right? I think that keep the question coming as you go along. And I think that as we go along, hope that you'll pick up 1-2 things. Maybe if you don't have a question, type in what is 1-2 things that you pick up today that you're going to embark on 2024, or maybe even the last few days of 2023. What are the things that you're going to take up, what are you going to adapt on? And journey to strengthen the health. I think good health is the best wealth. And I think as you're going on healthy living, just I touched on a few things, right? And one thing is positive attitude as well. As we go on there, how do you look at things? Do you look at things positively? Do we build on role modeling? I picked up hiking 3 years ago, right? And it was something that back then I thought is impossible. And it was tough. I lost 18 kg in the last few years. It's still a long way journey to go. Not at a perfect yet, but it was a better me. And I think many of us, as we go on it, how do we be a better me than before? How do you be gradually growing and build through? And role modeling. Nicole David is an example. Someone that I look up to. I met her and she built through, right? She came to one of our events, spoke to our faith employees, and she was super humble. And till today, every time I wish her for festive holidays or anything, she'll reply. Despite someone that's super busy, super traveling, everything. Someone that's genuinely caring. So I think pick up some role model. People that will help you to build healthier, active lifestyle. And build on that and be in a supportive community. People who want you succeed. Right? And I'm quite sure we have some of our friends that will remind us, be there and tell us that, hey, I want you to be successful. I want you to build on. How do you go through that? And continue to go through. Tamil Larasi, good health with positive vibes. Yeah, I think great that you have that and continue to build on that, right? And continue to spread the positive vibes. All of us can make a difference in people around us. Do we spread positive vibes or do we not spread positive vibes? Chan Manwai, how to overcome the lost life? Yes, this is tough. Not easy. But all of us, unfortunately, have to go through that. It's a cycle of life. Yes, medical advancement is improving. Aging advancement is improving. But I think that today, unfortunately, there is still that. And I think that a lot of it is cherish the moments that we have. I think I will look at it on a few parts. People that today still around us, our parents, our family members, our loved ones, spend quality time with them. Cherish those moments, especially this year end. Spend time, wish people, take the moment and go through. So I think that's one. And maybe some of our family members or friends are in tough time. Could be health-wise, could be other aspects. Be there for them. Sometimes it is the moments that go through. Like I was just reading this morning at LinkedIn, one of my friends lost a 10-year-old son. And he was talking about his son. He was looking at cherishing the son, what the son has, and cherishing the moments that he went through his son, went through Kebun Bangsa, went through different places. And as a reaction, he planted sunflowers because he felt that that flower represented his son. And he went on and planted that. So different way of us may have gone through different ways to adapt. But I think that there will be an outlet. There will be a moment let emotion flow, but go through that. Sorry that I mean, like, hope that you didn't have a big loss, but I think if there is, take it positively, live positively, and be the proud person of the person that who have left, right? I think that the person want you succeed and go through. And one, Rosliana, practice makes perfect. Yes, indeed. A lot of time is go through a lot of practice and go through. Ani Surani, yes, thanks for your message on good sharing. Yes, I can see your text. I think it's not public to everyone, but I can see the text. So thanks a lot for that. Appreciate that. Keep the question coming as you all go through. And coming to the tail end, a couple more slides. So I think one is that as I build on this journey, I continue to plow back to the community or the startups. So some of you may have seen some of this. I know here has put 24. There's a few more that did recently. So now I think my final count is about 28 already. And some of these maybe like flowers. You think of Bloom this, you think of Gifter, or those in Penang, there's a forward school or forward college. Go get when you run some errands, Circle DNA, when you do a DNA testings, Policy Streets, Rex KL, and various aspects, right? So if you look at it at Speed Home for the properties and all the aspects. So I think a lot of it is building on the journey. And as I go on that, it enables me to understand different business, different aspects, and relate to different folks because it's a problem solving as we go through each of that. Elishama, good things come with hard work. Yes, a lot of hard work, right? Luck goes to people that who work hard. So a lot of time people see, a lot of time, I'm not sure if you have seen this poster where on top you see the success of the ice, the mountain, but below that there is a lot of the hard work, rejections that go through. Muhammad Hafiz, do you create comfort zone spot within you once you get rejection? Place to recover or even music to suit the situation? Yes, I think we create that. That's a good idea, right? I think it's take some spot on it and then recharge and then go forward again. So there will be retreat moment, the moment that we feel that, okay, I just need to go out there for a great buffet. Maybe I just go out there, find a place and just enjoy play sports. Maybe I go out there and just play some musical instruments and just or sing my lung out at a karaoke. Find an outlet, whichever way that you feel, go through it and do it in a way that don't harm others, enable you to have outlet. And maybe for some people, you want it to be alone. I was reading last night, one of my former colleagues that say that on a Christmas Eve, she doesn't spend herself alone at a place where reflect. And she wrote a long time, 10 minutes reading kind of articles or reflecting of her year by each month. So sometimes that's different people go through. And she started a topic on saying that, hey, maybe this year I didn't have any successes. But as I read through, there's actually many learning and many growth and successes. It's just that a lot of times as we reflect on it, how do you go through that? So continue to build on that. Continue to make impact on others. Like many years ago, I let one of my friends stay at my place. I didn't even remember that, to be honest. And later on, he came back when he has been very successful, invested in 500 companies in US. And he came back. Every time he came back, he come and look for me. And then he said, do you remember why every time I came back, I look for you? He said that back then, when I had nothing, you allowed me to stay at your place. So sometimes things that we do that we may not even remember, people go through that. Jagannathan, how do you approach rejection? I think first of all, I think that maybe the word ego is not the right word, take the ego aside. All of us have ego. All of us want to be recognized. First of all, rejection is not showing that we fail. A lot of times we feel badly about rejection because we feel that we have failed. We have disappointed ourselves. We have disappointed people around us. Don't do that. Now, maybe okay to do that for a short while, but don't linger on. I think re-picture, re-going on, and say that how do we step up and look through, and how do we step forward on that? Yes, it is tough, and all of us go through rejections. It's just that most of us never talk about it out there. Most of us never go out there and go on a journey. And I think a lot of it is there. And there's this anonymous, your journey is my aspiration. I think experience challenges encountered by us make us stronger. Really appreciate. And I think all of you have your journey. All of you today come on here to share. You have your journey. You have your experience. All of us go through challenges. And it's a lot of times portray it. Whatever that doesn't break us, make us stronger. And that's all my slides. I have a few more minutes. Maybe I'll pass to Lawrence, see whether any more questions, or feel free to keep the questions coming as well. I hope that today you'll pick up something, even one thing, two things. Permeate it. Share it to yourself, to your social media if you feel that any of the thing that you learn makes sense. Share it with your group, share with your friends, and pick up. And the main thing is adopt it. What are the things that you can adopt and build on? And wish you all a better 2024. And hope you all cherish 2023. For those of you that have already achieved your target, congratulations. Give yourself a big round of applause, a pat on the back, and say, great, go and enjoy the year end and recharge and come back. For those of you that are working very, very hard for these few days to hit that, go and try it and give your best. And for those of you that who know your fellow planners or your leaders are going on that journey, help them. Give them a bit. Maybe introduce a lead to them. Maybe help them a bit here. They will remember people who are around them, who are guiding them during the tough time, are the people that they will remember and cherish. Be that person to your friend, to your leaders, to your fellow planners, and be there to help them. And for those of you that felt that maybe this is too tough, try your best till the next few days, but take the pill and say, let's bounce back in 2024. 2024, you can be a better person. And with that, thank you very much. I'll pass back to Lawrence and see whether anything else. If not, a good recap. And thank you, AIA, for having me. And stay consistent, be there, exercise, and use the AIA Vitality app frequently, and continue to bring value to your customer, clients, and your recruits. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chen Chao, for sharing with us today. I believe he has gone through a lot of topics and contents, but one thing that I captured and inspired me the most is success does not come overnight. I believe he has mentioned it over many times. Like, it takes a lot of hard work, years of hard work to achieve it. Thank you once again for Chen Chao. Let's have a round of applause for our speaker today. Thank you very much for having you. All right, let's not go away first. My dear life planners, I still have one more thing to share with you before you go away. All right. So don't forget that we have this Dragon Prosperity Challenge. The contest is going to end in few more days. So quickly, all right, if you know you are about to get it, just a bit more to cash on it. So let me just do a quick, review on the criteria and how to get it. All right, so it has three different red packet in different packaging. All right, and for category A, just the red packet itself, a minimum FYC or FYP is 2,888, and for the highest, the most completed set, all right, so you can refer to here. Okay, so once again, it is all in your R&R, so please do not go let this chance go wasted. We still have few more days to cash on it, and to start our year 2024 stronger. All right, so with that, we are finally coming to an end. So please scan this QR code to conduct the survey. If you think this sharing is good and you want Mr. Chen Chao to come and share with us more in the future, in next year, please put it down in the comment and let us know. So with that, last thing I want to say, let's end our 2023 strong and start our 2024 even stronger next year. All right, with that, thank you. Signing off. Thank you very much.
I've been with the shits ever since the J. Hey, I made my first million.